Today's session is about self-coaching with 4 questions. Now, I want to tell you, when I first started doing this, I actually shared this with a friend of mine and my friend's teenage son. And when he told me that I was teaching people how to self-coach, he actually was a little concerned. He said, "Senia, is that okay? You run an executive coaching business. If you teach people how to self-coach, I mean, aren't you going to be out of a job?" And I assured him that it would be okay, that it would be fine. And I actually want to give people the tools so they can self-coach. I thought that was very thoughtful of him as well, just to be concerned about the future business viability. If you have problems that you think about during the day, you are self-coaching. If you have things that are on your mind, you are self-coaching. This is what's happening when you are on and you're thinking, oh my gosh, what do I do about this situation? So let me give you a couple of tools. All right, we have put out, and they're not anywhere that you can find them right now, but we have put out a pack of What If It Were Easy cards by Silicon Valley Change. So I'm going to walk you through 4 questions of our multicolored question set. We have a few ending questions. As I'm walking you through this, think about a situation that is literally on your mind, that's on your mind today. So welcome to self-coaching with 4 questions. Here we go. Why? Why do we do this? We do this because you may have a problem or a question that you're trying to resolve. So I'm going to give you a few prompts. I'm going to go through them fairly quickly, and then we'll go through them with your examples. So if you open up our deck of cards, at some point they'll be on Amazon, but for now they're really just something that we hand out to our clients. They're in different colors. So I'm going to give you one of each color. First, what do you most want to figure out today? So the first question that we're going to ask is, what do you want? We can ask it as this question, or we may ask it as a successor question. What does success look like? So really what we're trying to find out is, what do you want to figure out? What's important for you today? Okay, so you have something in mind, something that you want to figure out. The next question that we always ask is, what is the problem you want to solve? What's something that's important for you to solve? That's the problem for you to solve today. So what do you most want to figure out? What do you want to get to resolution to? What's the problem? What's standing in your way? Next question is, what could you do that would take you one step closer to your goal? And you'll see we have the names of our coaches here. So for example, this question was written by Catherine Britton. What could you do that would take you one step closer to your goal? That's question 3. And question 4, these are some of my favorites. Question 4 are a little deeper. So if your life were unfolding exactly as it should, how would you think and act? If everything that is happening is exactly as it should be, how would you think and act? So now that you've gone through these 4 questions, what do you want? What's the problem? What action can you take? And something about you as a person. As you go through them, now we're just jumping through them fast, but as you go through them, you're going to figure 3 things out. And this is my favorite part of coaching in general and of self-coaching. Here, let me bring it up closer to you. As you've asked yourself these questions, what have you learned about this situation, the situation that's in front of you? What have you learned about yourself? So just kind of take a pause. Now I'm rushing through these, but we'll do these with your examples. And finally, what action will you be taking, if any? So that is the basic framework. The framework is to ask yourself 4 questions and to ask yourself a couple of summary questions. And I'll show you the summary questions are right here. What are your learnings? That way you've got it all. You've got the whole package of your self-coaching with just these 4 questions. So now that I've shown it to you, let's play with it. Let's go through it. So please drop, now is the experimental. So I've been doing these broadcasts live, I don't know, maybe about 3-4 weeks. And my favorite part is when you tell me what's going on, when you tell me what's on your mind and we can unlock it, we can play with it. So that's the formal part of these 4 questions, but now let's play. So here we go. What do you want? Please drop into the comments. What do you want? What do you most want? What's most important for you right now? It can be something at work. It can be something at home. I'll give you just 1 moment to write this in. Okay, so we're going to take an example. What do you want? And if you're saying right now what I want is I want more peace at home. I'm working from home. I want more peace at home. I want to not have arguments with my kids. I want to not have arguments with my roommates. I would like more peace at home. Great. So my first question to you is one of our yellow cards, which is, what does success look like? What would it look like if you have peace at home? So you might say, rather than give time for you to pop in the answer, I'm just going to make some assumptions for you. Success may look like that you walk in and nobody's yelling. It may walk in that people are eating together. It may sound like people are listening to music together. So those are some of the ways that success could look. What's the problem? So there are several ways to get a little more in-depth on this question, and I love that you actually can go a little more in-depth. So first, you can simply ask, which is very clear, what's the problem you want to solve, right? We can always ask that. But then you could ask something a little more subtle. So this is a question by Stella Grazan. I'm going to move it over here. How might you look at this just a little bit differently? So one way that I could look at this peace question, having more peace in the house a little bit differently, is maybe it's okay that we're all rowdy and loud. Maybe that's actually what this is giving us a chance to do. I mean, if you think about it, little kids and sitting in their chairs at school, that's kind of hard for them. Maybe it's okay that we're running around the house and in the side yard and all of this. That would be a way of looking at the problem differently. What's an action you can take? So let me show you a few different ways of asking this same question. Let's say it's now December and it's the end of this year. What will you want to have accomplished? By the end of December, I'd like a few more routines. That's fine. That's clear. And let me ask you a question by Brian Brannigan, which I really, really love, which is, what next half step can you take that moves you towards your goal? What next half step? Not even a full step. So a half step that I could take is I could set up some activities outside. And that way there would be things to do that aren't in the house and tight and running around and all of us getting on each other's nerves. That's an option. And then one of these super, super questions, and I'll read off the one by Sandy. Who are you being now? And who will you be when this is achieved? Right? So that's a deep, 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 deep question. Who am I being now? I'm being a person who might be concerned about the ruckus in the house. Who will I be when this is achieved? I may be okay with the ruckus in the house. And then you can go to the three final and ending questions, which are, what have you learned about this situation? What have you learned about yourself? And what action will you be taking? So in doing this, I might have learned about myself that I might be okay with loudness all around the house all the time. What I might learn about the situation is, hey, this situation is more malleable than I may have thought. And what action will I be taking is setting up some activities in places where I am okay with us all being near each other and rowdy with each other. One possible way of going through these questions. We're presenting this to you so that you have a way of, if anything comes up, that you can actually just hop through all of these questions. What do you want? What's the problem? What action can you take? And who are you as a person as a result of this? You usually end with, what are my learnings about the situation, about myself, or about the action? We're delighted to see you here. We're glad you've been here, and we'll see you again every Monday to Friday at 11 a.m. Pacific. All the best, and see you later this week.